Okay, so it's been a few weeks. I was at a convention 2 weeks ago, and then the week after that, I just kind of got sick. Um, I right now have a bit of a cough. I'm taking a lozenge. I'm probably gonna have to eat at some point. I just had a little something to tide me over for a bit, but hopefully we're not gonna do a disaster of that whole cooking part. So, as you can see, the Pokedex amount for red is about 104 now. I was being very diligent about keeping all the games roughly around like a similar position. I think all the Gen 1 games are tied for like for Pokedex completion. I think I did mention before that I got like a component splitter. So that should increase the quality a tiny bit. But it also has the effect of brightening the image, and I don't want to make it too bright. Let me see. Maybe I could. Yeah, I think that's a little better on the eyes. I decided I'm gonna pick up where red left off, because it's the most behind in Gen 1. Okay, so I did unlock Saffron, that's good. But I think this game hadn't beat Erica yet, so that'd be good to do. I think it would be advantageous to keep Eevee unevolved for a little bit, just at least to get past the grass gym. But I guess, actually, it really doesn't matter. Oh my god, the first move, the first attempt at tackle misses. I'm off the back of fairly recently watching this video on how messed up counter is. Probably, this was probably after the last stream. Because, like, damn, there's this guy who, like, talks about competitive Pokemon a lot, and, like, while I'm not, like, super into the competitive scene, the kind of stories that I hear, and just, like how the meta evolves and stuff is super interesting. But, like, counter specifically just has this, like, insane meta to it. Oh my god, it takes until level 31 for Jolteon to learn Thunder Shock. That's kind of unforgivable. You know, I think the gyms are set up in a very interesting way in this game, where it's like, they give you multiple paths to the gym leader and, like, different amounts of battles that you would have to do depending on, like, which area you pick, or, like, how you go about it. But, like, I feel like for me that's very highly underappreciated, because I want to fight everyone anyway. Despite the really cool layouts that they have, gyms could have easily just been a simple straight shot where every trainer is mandatory. Maybe you'd also have the same amount of trainers per gym. But they decided to make it in this really unique pattern for each gym. I think that's really neat. You know what? Better to be poisoned than to have the potential to be put to sleep. Sure, that makes Rap even more annoying, but still worth it in the long run, I think. That did 1 damage, oh my god. And so this game also has up to level 50, yeah. There you go. Nice. Yo, that X attack's gonna mean nothing when you're dead, son. Oh my god, the music glitched out. I love when it does that. It's so bizarre. I don't even know what causes it. Is it just like a sound effect sort of interrupting the music, or some kind of sound protocol? I don't know. Interesting. I'm sure someone's done research on it. Yeah, look at... Well, actually, both the feet are a little weird. The one on the left side, or I guess his right foot, is fine, I guess. The toes are, like, kind of bulging upward a bit, but it's whatever. Well, I don't know. I guess it's not that bad. I guess I'll show it on this one. It's not too bad. It's just like I don't know. The hair being spiky is a little odd to me too. Not sure what's up with that. So Eevee is like actually completely worthless here. And Nightshade actually hits normal types in this game. And also Confuse Ray does as well, I think. So yeah, so Ghosts just have to worry about Flick not hitting normal types, which, like, I mean, I wouldn't want it to hit normal. I wouldn't want it to hit anything anyway. You might be wondering about Struggle. Struggle is normal in this game, so you could actually put yourself essentially in a soft lock position against Pokemon. It's actually kind of insane. I just wiped. Just fucking wiped. But bro, you're not gonna fucking do this right now. Just, oh my god, just Nightshade. Nightshade, dude. Nightshade at least, like, twice more, maybe? Alright, one more time, let's do it, let's go. One more Nightshade. Thank you. God fucking damn it. I didn't even realize how bad of a position that was in until it was too late. You know, I remember that like one medium in Morty's gym, like, oh, can you even inflict damage on my Pokemon? Like, in that game, you had so many options for like elemental, like, damaging moves that, like, the answer to that is like pretty easy. Oh yeah, like, for sure, I know how to do that. But then, like, in this game, you could genuinely be to a point where, like, you could have maybe like one move, and then you either run out of it or, like, that Pokemon dies. And then it's like, oops, well, no, I guess I'm just stuck at a stalemate now. I'm watching Swordless Link on YouTube. He has this playthrough going of a Mario 64 hack called Mario 65. Which, by the way, that hack does not seem to be the best. He has on, like, a guest, and they sort of agreed not to really try to hate the hack too much. The guest tends to be a bit more positive, but, like, Christ, that hack, like, it does not look well made at all. There's so many, like, unnecessarily, stupidly difficult shit, in the middle of nowhere, too. And they force you to go through, like, the same thing multiple times repeatedly to the point where it's just not fun. And they're only, like, maybe half-ish way through the game. The biggest problem that I have at that point, which compounds with everything else, is the title. Like, Super Mario 65. The way that it implies that it would be, like, the game that comes after 64. That's so brave. That's so brave to just do that, to be like, oh, this fan mod? Yeah, this is the sequel to this beloved game. And especially for it to just flop like it does. To me, that's like if Sonic 4, the actual Sonic 4 didn't exist, but a hack of Sonic 3 that was really bad called itself, like, Sonic 4. And it's like, damn, dude. Alright, the level 30 ghost we can't even catch, even if we use a Silph Scope. Alright. You know, I'm thinking about, like, all the badge, like, obedience checks and stuff. I'm thinking about, like, what they all do. So, Brock has Flash. Like, Brock lets you use Flash, but I don't think he has any obedience, like updates. Misty lets you both use Cut and goes up to level 30. It's probably the best badge in the game in terms of like usability. Surge just lets you use Fly. So far that's 3 HMs we got. Erica both... Oh, I guess Erica's about tied with Misty. It's level 50 and lets you use Strength, I believe. Like right away, all the HMs just like let you let you use them. But now I'm trying to think about like what any of the other ones do. So let's see. Koga lets you use Surf, which is the last HM. So the first 5 badges like each allow HM use. Which just mean that, like, you know, you get to use everything fairly quickly. Actually, here's a question. I think I still want to catch the Snorlax, because, again, it is a single, like, it is a mandatory... I guess it's not a single-use Pokemon, it's a double encounter Pokemon. But, it is mandatory in my way. I want to know if Great Balls or Ultra Balls will be better against it. Yeah, okay, so a Great Ball is better. It has about a 7% chance. 7.8%. Okay, a little higher than that. Anyway, yeah. Good to have a lot of it. I think... Oh, wow. Revives are even available in Celadon. Okay. I didn't know. Okay, I'm going to use the remaining money on coins. If this is the game with the cheaper Porygon. I'm pretty sure it is, but let me check. No, this is the more expensive Porygon, okay. So, I don't care. Blue will be responsible for Porygon, then. I think that's only fair. I think it's only like 5555 instead of... no, it's like 6500, I think. Which is still a lot, but it's not 9,999. There we go. I can tell as soon as it gets past the first shake, it's guaranteed. If I see a Chansey, I will definitely try for a Chansey. But oh my god, okay. All right. It stayed for many attempts there. This is also big reason why I don't ever want to catch Chansey in the Safari Zone if I can help it. I have a friend online who wanted me to try like a mod pack in Minecraft. I usually just play pure vanilla, which I'm kind of surprised I did for as long as I did. I just kind of like the chill vanilla experience. And apparently one of the mods was like, what was it, like, I think it's called like Alex's mobs? And the shit that you can find there, I like the weird spiders, like this giant ass centipede is this fucking like abyss worm, whatever that was. I just looked shit up in creative. I think I'm going to be petrified of anything I see. Holy fuck. Nidorino. Chansey. We get another chance. See? This might just be one chance, though. Oh my god, we got it! Oh shit! Oh shit! Oh my god, dude. That's awesome. That's really good. I'll attempt to catch Execute, I guess. Because I could just, like, evolve it right away in whichever game I decide. Yo, Cotton, how's it going? Yes, sick timing. I was not expecting that to happen all day. I just figured that, like, I would have had to wait till, like, endgame to get a Chansey there. Hope you're doing well. I'm just kind of chilling, honestly. I don't think there's anything super eventful gonna happen, but you never know. So apologize that you're coming in right when Silphco is happening, because there is, you know, nothing happening. I feel like everyone talks about the actual Pokemon sprites in this game and how weird they are. Not as many people talk about the humans and how weird they are. You know, it's just good to have lazy days. That's me most days, but the point stands. Oh yeah, I mentioned before about just how like freaked out I am at all like the Minecraft mods. I swear, I have no idea how I'm gonna treat any of that stuff. I'm gonna see like a single tarantula somewhere in the world there, and then like the game goes off forever. I respect the tarantula love. I don't agree with it. I harbor no ill will towards tarantulas when they are at least several continents away from me. Although I guess I should say that at, like, you know, in real life, I guess tarantulas haven't ever done anything to me. I did visit an exhibit once, and there was like what looked like a big dead tarantula, and it was just their skin shed, and that was kind of freaky, but like also I'll admit that was kind of cool. In the game though, one just randomly approached me and bit me for no reason, so that's what they did to me. I wish like the difficulty balance was a bit more consistent for Gen 1. It's easy to talk about like the level curve for Gen 2, but in this game there's kind of a flat line around the midpoints. They're so big too. Why are they that big? That's not a centipede. That's a I don't know what to call that. Even like vanilla spiders, they still randomly have a vendetta against me. I mean, they have a vendetta against everyone, apparently. Except for in the daytime, when they just don't attack anyone. And that is Jolteon. Yeah, it is such an issue. I realized I was planning to leave and then like empty out my inventory. That's like really the first time. I even sort of wonder if it's possible to fill your inventory before that point. But either way, once you get to that point, then there's just so much in there. Like, it's not just the amount of item, it's the amount of unique items. It's stuff you've like never seen before. Here's I think there's like a max potion or something in there that like will never become useful for like so much longer of the game. But, you know, there's a max potion. Here's a bunch of TMs that, by the way, they're you know, this is the only place where you can find them. Oh yeah, so I'm also doing a thing where, you know, probably just to compound the inventory issue even more, I'm gonna try and play with like using as little TMs as possible. It's entirely a self-imposed challenge, and it's not even really concrete. I may or may not use them as I go. It's really just because I have so much of an issue using disposable, non-replenishable items in games. Like, elixirs in this game are single, you know, that you can't buy them in stores. They're just, if you find them in the world, you got them. If not, then you're kind of screwed. So I'll save them until I get to the Elite Four, but then I'll never actually use them even after the Elite Four. I know, it's just like, ugh. It's weird. It's messed up. Like, it could even be one of those games that, like, once you beat the final boss, it doesn't even save. Like so, you know, it's as if you never beat the game at all. And I still wouldn't use, like, the rare items in it. I'd still feel like, you know what? They're gonna be walking home. They're gonna say, damn it, we have one less elixir in this world. Or, like, we have one less whatever item it is in this world. I must also open every single door, even if it leads to junk rooms like this. Oh yeah, here's this weird thing. So, as soon as I take one more step down, there's a rocket that's waiting to see me. But if I hold left, sometimes the game lets me take a step to the left without him spotting me. Let's see if I can do this right. Yeah, see? But if I take a step back to the right, like, he'll see me, like, from here. I guess he just wasn't loaded or something, so that it'd take, like, an extra frame to process. Also, you're noticing the, you can see, like, right on, one of the rockets, like, heads there. Like, some glitchy pixels. Happens every so often. I think that's because of the music. Like, I think there's some kind of, like, protocol in the music that interrupts the, like, drawing pixels on the screen function. I don't know, though. It's kind of interesting. I gotta love how people on furry Discord are just, like, so horny. There's, like, this one creator, like, they were using Patreon for their stuff, and then they switched to another platform, and then the Discord ended up sort of getting messed up. I don't know why exactly. Maybe it's, like, linked in some way, and so half the channels are just dead right now. And I guess they're working on it. And everyone's like, no, I want the porn. I mean, there's no shame in it. It's just funny. Okay, I'm looking at Jolteon's sprite. Like, I always thought it was a little weird. I always thought that that part going to the right was just another spike on its neck, but I think that's actually like its at the snout. That just makes me realize that Jolteon is just a little cursed from the back. I feel like that's, like, not just in this game, that's just in general. Flame out. Okay, so I normally use, like, it's either, like, Visual Boy Advance or MGBA, but this actually isn't an emulator. I'm actually using a Game Boy player on the GameCube, and that is a whole can of worms to actually get going, but I'm doing this all on real hardware. Though if you are planning to do any kind of trades, I would recommend MGBA, because there is a way to, like, do multiplayer and trade related stuff. Yeah, how you doing today? You just kind of chilling today? Presumably, I was calling my mom, and last night, and maybe she was asleep, even though she called me just, like, a little bit earlier. The call sometimes went to voicemail. Other times, it just says that, like, it somehow went through, followed by some, like, unintelligible demonic noises, followed by saying that the call failed. But presumably she didn't get any of it. Like, I thought it would have just been, like, a glitch, maybe, like, she picked up but the signal was really bad. But it just sounded like followed by the call dropping. Alright, time to finally finish this place off. For the most part, I still have the rival to deal with. So you are ready for Boss Rocket, said no one has ever called Giovanni Boss Rocket. Oh, Ammonite's getting so close. It's getting so close. It's so strange, based on, like, the way the anime portrayed Sabrina, just how like innocuous and like uninteresting of a character she is here. Because like, I mean, you know, the game doesn't really do anything with most of these characters. They're just here to be an obstacle to get a badge. But Ash fucking like his life depended on that shit. When you, in Pokemon, when you gaze at someone, gaze paralyzes. Leer lowers defense. I just imagine like a Pokemon's like staring at another one. It's like, I don't know how to feel about this. Someone's like, it's like, oh, this is Leer. Your defense is supposed to fall, and they're like, oh, okay. Yeah, see, this is why I'm sand attacking, because I want to counteract the fact that this is like just a minimized battle at this point. Hey, no, it's cool. Like, I know it wasn't like a super, not a super energetic stream a lot of the time, but thanks so much for coming by. You know, it's really nice to see you here. Oh, finally decides to poison me and do anything about it. We'll have to catch up on a Minecraft thing sometime. It'll be fun. This guy can explode at any time. He is more than welcome to. There we go. The one thing that I really want to catch here is like, so Magmar is blue only, but I can catch Weezing relatively easily. And then from there, let's see. So I have a lot of stuff in blue that I could evolve through stones. On the bottom floor, it could be up to level 34. So I would prefer the highest floor for that reason. Or I could just wait for Johto to get to Mount Silver, because there is a chance for Rapidash. Okay, there's Weezing. Alright, I guess I'll just, if I catch this thing, I'll get out. Yes! Okay, good. I was running out of balls. You know, as soon as I really got into the groove of, like, playing, like, making progress on stream, catching new stuff on stream, but then, like, trading off stream, I feel like this really got into, like, a good groove. I just found this guy's channel. Looks like he only really started uploading like not even a year ago. Just made like a crap ton of like, I don't actually know if they're really Minecraft mods. This guy called, it's almost Fingers, but it's Fingies. He makes these like obvious like weird joke videos, but they're just real looking enough to where it seems like there's some truth to like the mod that he actually made. Like, I think he actually does code. Like, he makes random mods for Minecraft, and at first it's like, oh, okay, this makes sense. Like, you know, he added, like, dinosaurs to Minecraft. And then it's like, oh yeah, but if we have dinosaurs, then we need cavemen. It's like, okay, I guess that makes sense. It's like, oh, and of course, like, what was it, like, chickens are birds, and those are technically, like, descendants of dinosaurs, so here's, like, this weird chicken monster. And also, the dinosaurs, like, there's also, like, Barney, because if we're talking about dinosaurs, and also, they, like, feed on baby villagers. And then it just goes off the rails. But, like, it's still, like, it starts going off the rails still in the theme of, like, whatever he's going with. But eventually it then even abandons that theme. It just, like, it just goes fucking nuts at the end. This one about, like he made blocks, like, living in Minecraft. Every single block has arms and legs, but you could shear them, like, off, but then they have to go in, like, a wheelchair if you shear their legs off. And if you shear their arms and legs off, they need another block to push them. And, like, you can open each one of them up to see, like, their beating heart because they're all alive. And also, golems are, like, sort of come to life with blocks, so we all know that those blocks are alive. But also, you can make golems sideways in this mod, and also, you can make the entire world sideways. Like, it's actually fucking insane. And kind of sad that, like, Fire Blast did pretty much jack shit. Didn't even burn. Not that that would really make a difference, because my attacks, like, wouldn't have any effect. Blaine was such a non-issue, I didn't even realize I wasn't at full health. Which, I mean, obviously, it makes sense that I'm not at full health, it's just I didn't even realize I wasn't. I like when I tutor students, and, like, especially young students, anytime I make, like, a weird sound, like when I say something in a strange way, then like they pounce on that. They're like, oh, haha, it's funny as hell. That could be bad. Ooh, didn't even care. Didn't even care. And Sabrina is down, okay. This line of dialogue still mystifies me. They put this trainer right here, so you could just walk, from the gym, from the entrance of the gym, to this guy. He could very well be the first trainer that you fight in this gym. And he says, you must be running out of steam by now. But I also think that in a sense, it might not even be in reference to, like, the gym trainers. He might even be referring to just, like, the game in general. Your progress is starting to plateau near the end of the game. I don't know what the intention of the dialogue was. Not to mention, like, that might not even be a Japanese thing. But whenever I'm thinking of, like, dialogue in a lot of games, one thing that always comes to mind is the idea that it wasn't even, like, necessarily in the original script, because it was translated from Japanese, or not even necessarily directly translated. Sometimes there were, like, localization changes. But, like, if I ever wanted to know the deeper meaning behind a particular, like, dialogue box in the game, I'd have to first check if it's even in the original script. And not only that, but, like, not only can, like, a line of dialogue be localized slightly, it could even have the same general meaning, but the specifics in just the way the languages work can be very different. So it can come across as a totally different, like, figure of speech. I can't really think of any big, like, particular example of that, but I know it does happen in certain cases. Even if I had a question for someone who wrote this, it's very unlikely that, like, anyone would even remember the line of dialogue that I'm talking about and what their mindset was when they wrote it, Especially just, like, a random trainer in the gym at that point, because, like they're such an unimportant character. You can maybe, say, oh, what was your inspiration for designing, like, Giovanni or something? And you could probably get some, like, meaningful answer there. But, yeah, I know it's not very effective. I know it's not very effective, yes, buddy. All 5 times you had to tell me it's not very effective. The only exception to that kind of thing where, like, I figure someone would know a lot of the ins and outs of, like, even minor characters would be someone who designed an indie game. And it was, like, their own passion project. Like, I feel like the guy who made Cave Story would have a genuinely interesting thing to say about almost any of the NPCs in that game. Or at the very least, like, any of the ones who had some kind of personality. This idea to, like, just be so into your own work like that it's genuinely really, like, awe-inspiring, and it just makes me want to create something of my own, and I'm sort of doing that, but the thing I'm creating right now it's sort of in its infancy. I don't know, I find that, like, passion projects that people have are so very interesting. especially in like the earlier like internet days before Kickstarter, because Kickstarter, you know, things get around, a lot of people start talking about it, it gains a lot of traction. This guy is an Arbok, and I think the only Tauros that's used by a trainer in the entire game. This could very well be the only proof that you even have that Tauros exists if you haven't, like, seen it in the Safari Zone. And that's honestly better than some other Pokemon. You would probably never know that Chansey was a thing. I don't think any... Well, actually, there might be a trainer that uses it in, like... No, I don't think so. Well, I could definitely say Scyther and Pinsir. You might never even know they exist. I guess you might see them in the game corner, like prizes though. Whether or not you actually buy them, I don't know. There's just a lot of Pokemon that, like, their existence might elude you if you don't go out collecting specifically or looking it up. Like, you could go down to Graveler here, and between Graveler and Ponyta, you might even think, oh, well, there's just some other, like, single evolution line Pokemon that I'm missing. Like, there's no particular indication that Graveler is a trade Pokemon that evolves that way. I remember someone said it might honestly be possible that between Golem and Machamp, that might have been some kind of design intention back in the day. So Machop and Machoke have like a slightly lizardy vibe to them, like a reptile. It's a little more obvious with Machoke. But once you get to Machamp, the whole face is kind of like, it's more flat. And it just feels a lot weirder. Machamp also has 4 arms. On the other hand, Graveler has 4 arms, but when it evolves, it loses one pair of them. So now it goes back to having 2 arms. And its face gets more reptile-like. Golem has like this weird reptile face. Nothing is like confirmed necessarily. I don't think any of the developers have made any comment on this. But it would be genuinely interesting to hear if that was like the intention. I think Gen 1 has so much more interesting lore than any of the other games. Not like explicitly in the story, but all like the meta-textual lore. Everything surrounding the game, all the development stuff in the game. That's genuinely so interesting. And it's even more interesting, this idea that, you know, at the time, it was just going to be a standalone game. Or even if they did plan to make a sequel, it's, you know, it wasn't a surefire thing, and the first one needed to actually sell. So it's so interesting to see, like, what direction they could have potentially taken the series in. And that is the other badge. So I think I mentioned this before, but this is so weird because it's actually a detail that carries over. Oh yeah, might as well talk to him afterwards. Having lost, I cannot face my underlings. Team Rocket is finished forever! Until it's revived, through no fault of Giovanni, actually. I will dedicate my life to the study of Pokemon. Let us meet again someday. Farewell. I have a few things to say before I get to that. Yeah, so the badge thing, you get like a little like when you get a badge. Like there wasn't an official jingle for it yet until Gen 2. That jingle only played for the Boulder badge and the Earth badge just now. Like, it doesn't play for any of the other badges. If you listen closely, and I don't actually even know if this is true for all of the gym leaders, but for some of them, there's like a slight sound that plays, and it's like it sounds like a weird sandy kind of sound. the actual jingle only plays for the first and last badge of the game, and it totally, completely carries over for, like, Fire Red and Leaf Green. Fire Red and Leaf Green also carries over, if you get into the, like, the view radius of a trainer, you don't automatically turn to look at them once they start talking to you. That happens in every other gen, just not, just not the Kanto games. So maybe, like, some of the, I honestly don't know if that was an intentional design thing, or if, like, maybe it just happened to be an oversight that happened to line up exactly with the original, which I doubt. I feel like they must have carried some kind of coding over. That was the first, like, remake after all, so it's possible. Yeah, so, like, okay, yeah, so he says, like he'll devote his life to studying Pokemon, and then immediately dips out. It comes across as him trying to, like, shirk responsibility for, like, all the shit that Team Rocket's done. That probably is partially the intention, but it's still kind of funny. Like, it almost seems like, oh, look at that, he's been redeemed, you know? Like, I guess this kid inspired him so much upon defeating him that he'll now become a good guy. But no, he fucking dips just to avoid getting arrested, I guess. But also, either way, they changed that line in the remakes because I guess they were planning to do more stuff with Team Rocket, or at least with Giovanni. And I guess eventually they did with Team, like, Rainbow Rocket. But he says something like, oh, you know, like, Team Rocket will, I will disband Team Rocket, and he doesn't really say that, like, I'm gonna dedicate my life to studying Pokemon. Also, you know, my cue to point out that when the rival approached me, the music was faster than it normally is. I wish they kept that in the remake. I kind of like it here. It almost has, like, a more frantic feel to it. It's the last time, and you're right about to go to the Pokemon League. I'm considering at least attempting to catch Mewtwo legit. Because again, like, Gen 1's catch rates are somewhat reasonable compared to later games. Especially Gen 2. That whole shit. That's funny, that guy never says, oh, you can only pass here with the Boulder badge if you already have it at that point. But all the other guards say, first, you can't pass here without this badge. Oh, that's the badge. It's so funny that it shows Route 23, and in Gen 2, technically Route 23 is that little route right in front of the Pokemon League. But it's so funny how, like, Gen 1 and 3 is like this really long route, and then in Gen 2 it's just like, boop! The super odd encounters in this water is, like, Slowbro, Seadra, Kingler. Like, those are all stuff that I need. There's also Seeking, which, like, I don't really need. I don't really care. Okay. Shit, I can't even do this yet. Oh my god. Can't even do this yet because I never gave the gold teeth. I knew that was gonna bite me in the ass at some point. In Pokemon Red, Blue, and Yellow, the saving sound effects are all the slightest bit different. And, like, it probably has to do with some, like, hardware thing. Like, you could totally gaslight someone if they're very, like, if they have a very acute memory of that sound effect. Very nice. You know, I never understood why people put a question mark after, like, at the end of the word, like, a sentence with, like, I wonder. It's not, like, you know, it's not a question. You can argue it can be turned into a question, but on its own, it's not a question. Oh, another weird save sound. Yay! Nice. Wait, hold on. Charizard can't even learn Fly? Well, oh shit, they actually can't. Maybe they changed that in yellow? Oh yeah, they did! Oh shit, okay. Charizard just doesn't even have a flying move. That's so sad. That's so sad, though. Still find it weird how Saffron is like when you press down on the fly map, like that's the last thing that gets registered there. There's probably some weird indexing thing, like maybe it was the last thing on the map that they coded in or something. I guess there should be a one-hit wonder. And it is. Oh, the crit too. Nice. It's another super effective. In Gen 1, fire did not resist ice. So yeah, that's not like a message thing. That's actually like legit super effective. I know it's not like the best move, but I feel like Sand Attack, it's done its job. So yeah. It could also be good for like the Alakazam, potentially. Guess in place of Water Gun. You know, hell yeah, why not, right? Okay. I want to set up the X accuracy. I'm going to set up an X speed. I'll set up a second X speed. Just in case. Okay. Hopefully next turn it won't be confused. Thank God for no abilities. You can surf. Oh my god, you missed a Hyper Beam. I don't think that would have done that much damage on Omastar anyway, but still pretty cool. And that's Lance. I need to look at what Omastar's special is. Oh my god, yeah. Just like another level, because just for the hell of it, you know? Alright, so time for the animations to go on against my will. That's fine. I like the animations for like Thunderbolt and shit, so good to have agility. The reason why agility is so good, haha, Whirlwind doesn't do shit in this gen. Every time I use agility, it activates my badge boost, I believe. Hell yeah, Thunderbolt! So I get like little bits of strength and like, I think like, what categories? I think the Boulder badge increases your defense, I think Koga's increases your attack or some shit. No, you know what? I think Koga's and Surge's were like randomly swapped, so I think Surge increases your attack, Koga increases your speed. I could Pin Missile the Exeggutor probably. It'd probably do some good damage. Oh yeah, this thing's moves are kind of lacking, I think. Like, Exeggutor as a whole is fine, but like your rival's Exeggutor kind of sucks. Oh my god. Well, I can set up whoever the hell I want right now. Ooh, a crit? Okay. Why do you go for Bite? Oh my god. Venomoth, good job, dude. Good, you know what? Good job, this random Venomoth that I just caught in Victory Road. I gotta kind of respect it, you know? And with that, Pokemon Red has been completed. This marks the second of 6 games that has beaten the Elite Four. I guess technically Crystal isn't like fully done if you count the 8 gym badges in Red. I don't know if I count Red because like I will always beat Red at least, you know, one of these games for sure. I will probably beat it with all 3. You know, the gym badges are like kind of an important part. Even in the post game you can argue. But Red is just kind of like an extra thing, honestly. So it's finally time to check what my Pokedex is, because I keep forgetting. I like how on an emulator, that part where it scrolls by at the bottom goes by way faster. I don't know why. 118. Folks telling me that, you know, congrats on evolving your Pokemon. Yeah, we pretty sure you must have figured it out by now. Though I am curious if it is possible to have gotten to whatever milestone he starts telling you that, oh good, you evolved your Pokemon, if you hadn't evolved any Pokemon. It's probably possible. Well, no. I'm starting to doubt that a lot, because there's so many evolved shit. Even with all like the gaps that I still have, there's still tons. I quite like the credits here. Now I just realized there's a US version. That came after the Japanese. I wonder if, because like, oh, Satoru Iwata, rest in peace, man. I feel like, would the Japanese credits be a lot slower? Because they still have to fit the entire song in, but they have less credits. I never really think about that. Or maybe, I guess more accurately, the English US version was like sped up. You know what, let's just talk to Oak and see what jingle he has for us. I think it's just a do-do-do-do-do-do-do-do-do-do. Right, no, I'm guessing it's the do-do-do, do-do-do-do-do-do-do. Okay, that was a little different from that one. Do-do-do-do-do-do-do. Okay, so Venomoth can get shoved in here. Okay, well, since I am not really, like, I don't really need to get anything else in this game except for Mewtwo, at least for a little while. There might be some, like, evolutionary stone stuff that I could do. What I'm gonna do is, I'm gonna get a bunch of Ultra Balls, and I'll see if I can catch Mewtwo legit. Good thing Charizard's reasonably fast. Hypno. Ooh, I need a Hypno. This thing could do damage, though. Sorry, Weezing. You gotta get sacked. It's a canon event. It's for the plot. Oh yeah, I forgot that, like, Raichu is just available fully evolved for some reason. I mean, I guess I might as well try catching it, I guess. Well, there's Chansey. Chansey is crazy good in this game. It has high special defense in later games, but that just translates to insanely high special in this game. I mean, the thing about attempting anyway, to catch Mewtwo legit is it has Recover. so that could be ever so slightly annoying. However, Ammonite does have a chance to freeze it, and the moment it's frozen, like, the rest of the fight is essentially free. I mean, you still have to get lucky with catching it, but... Though that does mean that Ammonite needs to survive at least one turn from Mewtwo. Probably more, because Blizzard is only like a 10% chance. Yo, spam barrier! Unnecessary barrier spam. Barrier spam, dude! Let's go! Recover, that's fine too. Fine too, not a problem for me. This is my last Blizzard, yeah, this doesn't freeze, then. Oh, shit. I might be here for a little while. I realized that I forgot to start recording again. So this time, I didn't really miss anything. Just ordered a pizza. Said hi to a first-time chatter that... I don't know if it's still here. And we got like one attempt at blizzarding again. I'm kind of determined to do this now. And the thing is, even after it freezes, there's still no chance. There's still no no guarantee. That could have been a freeze chance. Just throw it out the window. Hey! Very fortunate timing. Okay, I think... Oh, it's perfect, actually. Ah! First try! What if Mewtwo was just willing to be caught the entire time? Just like, you don't even need to freeze me, man. Just throw a Pokeball. We got an ABCD sighting. Very good. Well, yeah, that's essentially all I needed to do in this game. Nice. We can put that under Graveler. Alright. Executor. So, I did have a rule that, off-screen, I wouldn't, with the exception of Pokemon Silver, because that had, like, you know, I did end up getting a couple things I didn't get, but, like, they were on the way, and that whole thing was a big inconvenience anyway. So with that exception, my rule is I don't want to collect Pokemon off-stream. Like, I don't want to, like, get a Pokemon that I haven't seen before off-stream. This technically includes Golem. I think for the time being, I'm going to focus on Pokemon Yellow. You know what? Probably do Yellow. Well, I mean, the most neglected game is Gold, but because of the whole using a Larvitar thing, so that one actually has good reason to be neglected. Okay, so that is Clefairy. No. It lags just enough for me to press A and assume that I need to press it again. We should do Silph-Co. It'll be kind of relieving to have it be done, you know? Oh, that actually was the pizza. I'll be right back. So for the last little while, every time I order pizza, I give a request to draw some Pokemon on a box. Maybe I could share some of those here in the video. I tried it for this one. This is the first time I didn't get anything, which, you know, I don't really blame them. Just an extracurricular. Oh, is it? It's level 28? I thought it was like level 31. Shows what I know. I think of a different Pokemon entirely. You know, is it assumed that all of Team Rocket members' Pokemon don't like them? I feel like, or most of them, I feel like there's a good amount that like probably would, especially if Gen 2's like friendship has anything to go by. Like, as long as you just walk around with your Pokemon and you just level it up like you normally would, it really likes you. Almost to like an unhealthy degree. Well, waiting till the last second to self-destruct is pretty obnoxious, so makes sense that you work for Team Rocket. 5 more floors left. I'm pretty sure Trader implies that we were allied. That line has always confused me. I want to look this up. I'm pretty sure that I'm right about this. Well, one of them is just being a lack of loyalty, which, yeah, I guess that is correct. You know, give Team Rocket some credit in this gen, even though they are kind of boring and pretty silly. They do have a very noticeable presence. I think that's actually one of the reasons why they might be one of my favorite teams. Like, there's stuff about like iconic about Team Rocket and Jesse and James and all that. Dude, explode, it'd be so funny. Oh, dude, dude, he's the funny guy. I think I already did. Okay, so that's all of Silphco. I'm gonna go train Pidgeotto just a tiny bit. $25, my god, dude. He was edging so hard. That would be 131 across all Gen 1 games. I find it kind of funny that even after you beat Team Rocket, like, the Silphco music is still this. Like, is this how people at the office live? They just hear this constant music? Oh my god, we won. It was a speed tie, I guess. Damn. Or wait, no. I think it could have been badge boost because my attack fell. Bro, attack falling actually probably saved me there. So, in red and blue, it was level 15. Okay, it's still level 15. I know in the remakes it was changed to like level 25, I think. Like always. Again. I love that. It's like, the blast off at the speed of light! Again. Apparently, like, Venusaur's back sprite here was in reference to early, like, this scrapped idea in development where its flower would face the opponent. That's why it's, like, sort of, like, up and facing. Which I think is super cool. I'm kind of glad they didn't do that. I just kind of like the, you know, in-place flower a little more. But it's really cool to see, like, the development details there. What are you doing all the way over there, Ponyta? I would have considered you if you were still around in the level 40-ish area. But I guess you're not. And all I'm seeing is, like, Ditto and the Rattatas and Raticates and shit. Well, fuck. Blaine's levels are just maybe a little too high? I think they almost kind of wanted to make up for just how poor the moves were. But then they ended up giving a lot of the gym leaders better moves. Not always necessarily better Pokemon. but they gave them better moves, and then they decided, you know what? I forgot if we increase the difficulty, so let's up their levels. And then someone else came along and said, hey, I forgot if we increase the difficulty, so let's up their levels. And then a third guy came along and said, hey, I forget. Like, jeez. Level 54 is maybe a little much. You know, I remember in the anime that, like one of the psychics in Sabrina's gym was, like, wearing a face mask. Probably also wearing, like, this, like, lab coat looking thing. I can understand the lab coat, but I'm really not sure why the face mask. I've sort of gone into habit. Whenever I go into Sabrina's gym or just fight psychics in general, I take a flying type with me. Like, a lot of psychics aren't as good defensively, and flying types can sort of bypass that. They're not the only types, but I find that, like, I find that Pidgey is good enough to tank a few hits and deliver out, like, an okay amount of damage. Firo is very good at, like, dishing out very quickly and probably kill, like, the Kadabras and Alakazams, even if it can't take. And Dodrio, same kind of thing. It's more of a glass cannon. Oh my god, okay. That was it. That was it. Oh, jeez. Sabrina, you did great. You just happened to use Psywave a little too much, honestly. That was just stupidity on your part, not gonna lie. I don't even understand why they really need that. I know you could, like, use it and check your coins. It's like, I don't know, man. Seems a little superfluous. Oh, there is a Porygon in this game. For 9999. There's also those. Oh, Wigglytuff. I guess you don't need a... Guess you don't need a Moonstone. Interesting. Nice. Went off without a hitch. Haze. Haze, haze, haze. I could do that in place of... Bite, actually, that'd be pretty good. I completely cut the crap out of like, my thumb, because I was using scissors in a really stupid way. It ended up working for what my purposes were, but not without completely fucking up the skin of my thumb, in the process. So I'm just wearing a band-aid in case, you know, infections and stuff. You didn't think I would bring a flying type, and this is all you got. You got Sand Attack off, and then you just got a bunch of digs. Okay, yeah, I outsped anyway. That was a fucking devastating earthquake, though, I gotta tell you. There's a jingle again. Well, I was hoping it wasn't turn into something with just Vaporeon, but by the end it kinda did. God, I still have, like, no good counter against electric types in general. It doesn't matter that much for the Elite Four until I fight the rival again. Then it's actually, you know, then I have another Magneton to worry about. I guess if it's only one Pokemon, it's not a huge deal, but... There we go. There we go. That way, so Gengar, I will now consider it registered on stream. Therefore, I can, you know, I can go about my day. Alright, most important trade, let's get it out of the way. Haunter, Graveler, let's go. I guess it's not clear what's happening in red, but you know, so like Haunter's gonna evolve there and turn into a Gengar, come back, you know. I mean, that's a weird Graveler sprite, I find. It's also kind of tiny. That's a good Haunter sprite. I think all the Gen 1 Haunter sprites are pretty solid. Even if the red and blue one is a little bizarre looking. It's just not quite exactly Haunter. It's pretty badass as hell. So here's what I was saying about Golem having a very reptilian face. It's almost like he stole it from a choke. And now for someone having a Raichu in yellow. You actually could achieve this by just trading Pikachu from yellow away into another game, then evolve it, and then trade it back. It just feels wrong, though, you know? I can officially say that some game has Machamp. You can trade back Graveler, so some Gen 2 game has a Golem. What are the odds? Also, this is new to when I was doing a bunch of trades, but so I made it so that the first 3 boxes, or the first handful of boxes, the ones that aren't really labeled, they're just box 1, 2, and 3, they're for stuff that I might want to like evolve or transfer up or something along those lines. Not all of them necessarily. I realize now there's a few redundant things like this Pidgeotto. So I got complete box 1. Next to it is complete box 2, or complete 2. So that was around box 7 and 8, sort of in the midway point between like box 14. This is my bait box. Things that I can just trade freely to Gen 1. And box 14 is my sort of honorary, semi-honorary party member box. If he has like a heavy ball, that'd be really good. Yeah, dude! I thought ahead. So Ampharos is out first, and can deal with the Zatus. Bite was such a good idea. You probably get half damage here. Yep. Oh, Espeon would be so good against this too. No, just hit through. No, dude. Alright, yeah, being this slow and using rollout strats probably wasn't the best idea. It's alright. The real setup is gonna come with Karen and Lance. I think like Bruno's gonna go pretty easily. Mach Punch? Alright, bud. Sure, well, whatever you say. Okay. We're through the Houndoom. Okay, well, I definitely need to set up something. Ampharos is bulky enough, I think, to start setting some stuff up. Okay, I think that was like 3 X specials or something, and like 2 X speeds. Let's see how that goes. Yo, fucking 75% rule. Oh my god. Right. Okay. No ancient power buff. Okay. Good call. Is that it? Is that it? Is that the game? That's the game! Whew. I was silent about that whole thing, but... God damn! Damn, if only Ampros didn't just run out at the end there. God knows what Pokemon Gold is gonna have to go through. And actually, pretty likely that I'm gonna have to go through the Crystal and even maybe the Silver one multiple times because of things that take a long time to evolve. Although, there's not quite as many left after Gen 1. So, at least there's that. Oh, my heart's beating. I mean, it's always beating, but it's beating more. Alright, what do you have to say, Professor Oak? Have you met Coot? Ah, a rare one. Jeez, I have met Kirk, buddy. So far, that is 3 out of the 6 games actually beaten. Yellow is on the midst of or it's in the midst of getting beaten. Though, the levels are proving to be a bit lower than they should be, most likely. Unless I really go with that Nidoking and use some X accuracy hacks, just like I did with Red. Hi, Mom. Hi, Mom. Oh, that's interesting. That actually counts as the step when you exit the house. Like, I thought it was, you know, that doesn't count and then you take a step. I don't know. It's funny. You know, I've been noticing this for a while, but I'm only just commenting on this now. Looks like in Gold and Silver, once I press an attack, there's a very tiny amount of delay that, like, the text box is, like, more than Crystal. Like, listen to this. I don't know. It's just barely noticeable to me. But, like, it's there. Alright. In Kanto. In yet another game. I'm really doing this. I'm really doing the power plant trip. Once again. Again, sorry that I don't have too much to comment on. This is just sort of starting to wind down the end of the stream. A lot of this is just kind of going through the motions. I still enjoy, you know, I'm still having fun with the game. It's just to a point where, like, just be more mellow. Honestly, I gotta say, the translators went so fucking nuts with this guy's dialogue. I don't know how it sounded in Japanese. Presumably it was still, like, broken sounding sentences, but good god. Like, in the gym, it sounds somewhat intelligible. I mean, bye-bye a go-go, just kind of the meme, but, like, it really seems like they tried jumbling the words as much as possible in this encounter. Machine parts steal by me, hide it in Gym of the Cerulean. Like, you have to really try to make this, like, to make it this bizarre. It's so weird, like, this conversation. Is it implied that it's supposed to be her talking as you? That one sounds more obvious. I remember in Gen 1, she starts saying, like, oh, like, stop copying me. But you can almost kind of interpret that as Red saying that. But I don't think that's the intention, especially because, like, Red's supposed to be this whole silent protagonist. But also, I feel like the idea that he just can't say a word was just, like, a retroactive decision. So yeah, it should be a 35% chance. Very nice. Very good. For some reason, Slugma gave me a lot of trouble to catch. Well, because I tried paralyzing and it didn't work back in my own playthrough of it. Anyway, very nice to have a Slugma. That's one of the last, like, encounters that's, like, based on daytime of some kind. Heavy ball, do your thing. The gray ball. Really? Okay. Alright. Fuck you then, I guess. Alright, sure. I don't know. You guys saw the glitchy pixels on that guy as well, right? Hello, Perry. Oh, right, you were about the Merrills, now that I remember that. I can now delete your number. I don't care about you anymore. Still funny how, like, under the ledge, they still have, like, the downward physics, so you just kind of, like, smash against this wall. Like, you gotta kind of awkwardly trudge your way forward with the bike. This is the dividing line, okay. Here's the green Nurse Joy for some reason. I don't know why. So, just as with Gen 1, if we enter this building, we go to the 3rd floor. I'm the game designer. Filling up your Pokedex is tough, but don't give up. So if we talk to him, that will be our official end of the stream, I guess, once we get our diplomas for 251 in all 3 games for Gen 2, and 151 for all 3 games in Gen 1. Alright, well, again, this has been pretty fun, pretty productive today. Gen 1... Gen 1 went crazy. Gen 1 finished from the least progressed game in Red all the way to becoming the most progressed game, having beaten it. 5 badges and the Elite Four all in one stream, Jesus. Yellow still had 5 badges, and we got 8, and, you know, got through Silphco. I really want to start making some progress on Gold. But also, just in general, Yellow's behind with its team. Yeah, okay, so I really do want to make progress on Gold, because, like, I don't want to feel like there's still practically an entire game ahead of me. But Gold really needs the Larvitar so that it can, like, actually use it during the playthrough. I don't even know if that's even necessarily the best way to do that, the best way to, like, lay this out. But I think my objective is going to be in whether it's Crystal or Silver, they're roughly at the same point, though Crystal hasn't gotten Snorlax yet. Doesn't really matter, though. Anyway, I'll get all the 8 gym badges there. Then I'll catch a Larvitar. And then I'm going to trade this Larvitar to Gold. And then Gold can finally, like, move. It's been paralyzed from the waist down for years now. Okay. So I will trade a bunch of stuff that that I got in Gen 1 all the way to Gen 2 and within the Gen 1 games also. So this total of 163 here in Gen 2, that's gonna bump up. The total in Gen 1 is gonna bump up pretty dramatically. Thanks for watching. See ya.